Welcome to part 2 of Why Reels Matter for Dose of Social. If you listened to our last episode, part 1, you already know why Reels are such a massive opportunity for your social media platforms. In today's episode, we're shifting into the how. Kayla and I will be talking lighting, audio, framing, and all the little filming details that make your Reels look and feel more polished and intentional. We'll also be sharing editing tips, caption reminders, and some of our favorite tools and gadgets that make content creation that much easier. If you're ready to elevate your reels and simplify your production process, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. So, Kayla, let's talk about production and filming. So, for businesses and brands, a lot of them will work with social media teams like ourselves, and the team will come in and organize the shot list and organize the shoot. But for those who are doing this on their own and planning a shoot for their business, what are some tips for production and filming that someone should keep in mind when producing reels?
Great question. Definitely always keep in mind to use good lighting. So typically, for example, if the window is behind you and you're filming somebody standing in front of the window, the lighting's usually not going to be that great.
Backlit.
So making sure you're getting good lighting, there's not a lot of shadows, using a ring light indoors when possible, or I have a really fun light that I'll be sharing during my Dose of Social show and tell shortly. Clear audio is also very important. So if you don't have mics, making sure that you're not in a loud environment. So like I mentioned, we film a lot in a bar. It's always loud. There's music, TV, people talking. We have to use mics or you're not going to be able to pick up on anything. You don't want any type of echo, background noise. Making sure you're using smooth movement or framing to keep attention. So tripod, gimbals are really good, especially if you're walking and talking. It keeps it steady and your phone's not bouncing around everywhere. Making sure you have a clean background that's aligned with your brand aesthetic. So we have a client that when I was shooting with her, her face just doesn't look well with backgrounds like my wall behind me. She looks gray, her skin, for some reason. So we knew that we couldn't shoot her on neutral backgrounds like that. We had to find some different type of background to bring out more of the color in her face. Making sure the background's not, if you're on a construction site, it's not crazy messy, but unless it's supposed to look like that. So just keeping an eye on your surroundings in general.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I found that teal is a very nice background for me, so
It is.
painted my wall behind me like it. Yeah, those are all really great tips. And also just a tip for lighting too, if you're not really sure like what Kayla meant by backlit or like standing in front of a window, just test with your phone. Just literally stand from this corner and this corner and this corner and this corner and just see where the lighting is best, because I feel like sometimes I've worked with brands where they're like, wait, no, well, how do you know this isn't good? Well, let me just show you. Also, like the sun, if you're shooting outside, making sure that people aren't squinting. So just, keeping all those things in mind. So those are great filming tips. Thank you so much, Kayla.
There's a couple of additional ones too that we've noticed from when clients that aren't local send us content. If you have a ton of space above your head, usually that's not great. If they can't refilm it, there's different ways that we can kind of fix that. We'll try to put the captions up there, but usually you want to make sure that you're a little more centered and there's not a ton of space above you or below you.
Oh, that's a great tip, and that actually reminds me of something. So we have a client, shout out to Flower Link LA, wholesale flower distributor. So we shoot content with them at their on site at their location once a month, and they have over 200 different floral varieties that they bring in from Ecuador. And so all the varieties have different names. And so we have this fun segment on social media where the founder comes on and says, guess this variety. And you have to guess the name. So she'll show it and then she'll give 3 different names and she'll point. And then, so when we film her, she's holding the flowers and she's just pointing 1, 2, 3. And then in the editing process, we go in and we put the names. She sends us the names and then we put those in the editing process. So that's also something that you can do if you know, like we talked about earlier, that it's very good to have words over your reel. Like if you know that you're going to have that and you have an actual person in your video and you want them to point to something, um, making sure that you frame the video so that you give yourself enough room to put that copy on the actual reel.
Yeah, we did that with a client. He's a plastic surgeon, and we were doing before and afters. So he was pointing, but he was pointing all the way up. I was like, "No, we need you to bring your hand like right here, not up here."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so yeah, exactly, because otherwise you're going to be off screen. So, and it's something too that you'll learn over time, and now our client is super good about she knows exactly where to point, but all of that is really good to keep in mind when you're filming, because again, you want to get as much content as possible in your shoot, so you don't want to be in a situation where all of a sudden your hand is up here and cut off when you're pointing. So yeah, great point. So let's talk a little bit more about the post production process and editing of this content. So we've had our shoot and we have our shot list. And ideally, these shoots should not take a long time. Like, you don't need to shoot all day long. You don't even need to shoot for a half a day. Like, just taking an hour out of your day, 2 hours out of your day, having people come and help you, like your employees or whoever, for 15-minute spurts or whatever it is, just to make sure that you're being mindful of everyone's time, I think is also good. But once you have your content shot, Kayla, what are some tips that you can give our audience for editing their reels?
Well, it depends on your reel. We have some where it's just people talking, and so we add captions, not through the apps just because sometimes they're a little harder to edit, so we'll add them through CapCut or Canva, and we make them also branded to, the client. We also add an end card to the end of every reel, or not every reel, but, to a lot of the reels with the client's logo or if there's a call to action. Um, but some clients, there's a little heavier editing. So we work with a hummus brand, which we actually did have a 6-hour shoot with her, but we were doing a lot of recipes. And so we knew ahead of time it was going to take a while. But she was doing a board. And so we had cut it to where you would see her popping things on the board. And then there was a really fun piece at the end where she booped the board and these flowers appeared. And it was really cool. She actually went in and edited it a little more because she loves social media and we love that about her. But she cut it to where you saw less of her hands. So it was more of just the food ending up on the board quicker and the cuts looked a lot cleaner. So I think it depends, again, going back to your objective of what the videos are and how those are going to be edited. So some might have small edits based on what the clients are saying, because sometimes when we film them, we film it all the way through, whether they fumble their words or forget what they're saying, we can go back and cut that out. And so we'll just go in and add captions and an end card, or it could be something that's a little more detailed with editing where it needs to be quicker clips.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thinking about the edit, because attention spans are short, right? So making sure that you're trimming the content, like maybe someone doesn't need to see a certain shot for 2 seconds. Maybe it's just like half a second. So just being very, very quick and intentional. And I like that you mentioned Canva and CapCut, because those are very simple video editing apps that you can use outside of Instagram for editing your reels.
Although Instagram would probably want us to say to use edits, which is
Yes.
their editing tool.
Yes. So there are several different ways to edit reels. You can edit them directly within Instagram. You can use edits with it, which is the Instagram app, and then CapCut and Canva.
One tip I would like to share, because I talk about it with my team all the time. If you are adding captions to a reel, whether it's edits, CapCut, whatever it is you're doing it through, always, always, always triple check, because the AI or whatever the tool is that it's using, it's not going to pick up on all of the words correctly all of the time. And sometimes if you're looking at something for a very long time, you might miss it. So when you edit it, maybe step away, come back and look at it again, because a lot of times you're going to catch words that are incorrect and you want to catch it before you post it.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And another thing to think about too is think about if someone were to view the caption over the reel, you want to make sure that you leave space on the lower third for someone to look at the caption and put your text, if it's directly on the reel, above that area. So the Instagram editing app, I believe, shows you the lines of where you need to stay within. So something to think about.
Yeah, Canva does that too.
Awesome. All right. So now I would love to get into our
Show and
show and
tell.
tell.
Ooh.
It's like chair day at preschool.
Okay, Lindsay, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay, so Kayla and I are very excited. If you're listening to this episode, we definitely recommend you check out the video version of this on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you watch podcasts. But if you're listening, we'll make sure to describe it in a way that you can visualize these beautiful items that we use. So there are items that both Kayla and I have in our toolkit of what we bring to content shoots. So the first thing that I want to say is you do not need a fancy camera. Okay. I think that is a very big misconception. I think a lot of brands think, oh, I got to invest in a nice video camera. I've got to invest in a DSLR camera.
I have to invest in a video production company.
You don't have
Do
to.
it on your own.
You can do it on your phone. Okay. So bringing your phone, and then with bringing your phone, I would also recommend that you bring an external battery charger for your phone because these apps will zap your battery.
Let's go.
No joke. I was on site last month shooting an event. No kidding. My battery died within 2 hours of the event. And I was like, what? The what? Like, how did that happen? So, if you also are plugging in, like maybe you're plugging in a microphone to your phone, get one of the battery packs that sit on here on your like if you have like the magna thing so that it doesn't take up your plug if you're using that for a microphone. So also just something to think about. So a phone or a camera of some sort and your external battery charger. Okay, so excited. Okay, so now what I want to share is I want to share two things. So if you have been following me and LTM Digital on social media for a while, you will know that I'm a huge fan of the wired microphone. And I've posted in the past that I like wired microphones. And the reason I like them is because you plug in and you don't have the issues with wireless microphones like them cutting out or whatever. But I will say recently I have made the switch to a wireless microphone. What I found is we were getting crackling on the wired mic, which wasn't happening before, and we noticed on some of our content shoots that it just wasn't sounding very crisp. So we recently invested in these DJI microphones. So these are
I've
little
heard those were
wireless.
really good.
Yeah, so these are these little wireless microphones, and they're really cute. You can see here they have like a little clip, and you just when we interview a subject, we just clip it right here onto their shirt, or like if we're covering like a running race and they're wearing a medal, I'll clip it to their medal, and so we'll clip it like this, and we have two of them. So if you're interviewing two people at a time, you can do that. And then this nice little nifty piece here has a little uh, plug for your iPhone. So you just put it on like this, and then you plug this into your phone. So that's what I'm saying about having an external battery pack that doesn't use the charging port. And then we use this. And so I can see here that the microphones are both on through the lights. And I will say that the sound quality on these little DJI mic minis are really good. Like I'm really, really, really satisfied with them. So,
And then
uh,
does yours clip, can it work for the old iPhones and The
Yes.
hand
So yeah.
charger.
So it doesn't have to be the USB-C port. You can buy a lightning charger as well. So all those adapters are just sold separately. And then the other thing that I did want to also share is putting these fun little
The
fun
poop.
little poofies, I'll call them. They're basically just for the mics to help shield from wind. So if you're in an area where it's really windy or there's like a lot of noise, this just helps make the sound a little bit softer, just kind of buffers it. Sometimes like if someone's especially if someone's talking directly into the mic, it sounds really loud like this and you want to make it softer.
And then Lindsay, what does something like that run price wise?
So I would say so these wired mics you can get for like $15-$20 on Amazon, and we'll link all of this in the show notes, everyone. These are more of an investment, so this was upwards of $100. But these mini mics too, there's all different brands on the market. I like DJI. DJI is a trusted brand. They have like they make drones and they have gimbals, which I want to share in a minute as well. Okay, so this is my final item for show and tell. This is a gimbal. So this is the DJI gimbal. So there's this little piece and it attaches to your phone, and so you just kind of like put it on your phone like this, and then whoop, magnetic. And then you turn on your gimbal. And then this also has an app too. And so this is a stabilizer. So this is really good if you're getting shots, and it will actually like track your subject too. This is just kind of going haywire here, but it'll track your subject. And then you can actually get like some really nice tracking. It's stable. And then this is also a tripod. So you can pull it out, take the legs out, sit it on your desk, film yourself. And then this also goes into what I call selfie stick mode. So you can use it this way as well. So gimbals are a bit more of an investment. I think they're around like $170, $180. This one is the DJI gimbal. But yeah, so all of these are really, really great to have in your social media toolkit. So we'll link all of these in the show notes.
Yeah, we have a gimbal as well, but ours was around 60 or 70. So there are more affordable ones if you're going outside of DJI. We use different mics. So I got these on Amazon. They were around 25 or $30. They charge in this little case, so you can connect it to
Yep.
charge.
Oh yeah, mine charges in a case too.
Then we have this is what clips into the bottom of your phone, like Lindsay was talking about, but it has both USBs here. And then it comes with two little mics like this. So they're obviously a little bigger than yours, but we have people either hold them here or they clip them on. I have a lot more tools to share. I got this light actually on TikTok shop. I forgot how much it was, but this is a magnet, so it connects to the back of your phone. It's a little mini ring light. So when you're on the go, you can keep it in your purse, connect it to your phone, use it as a little mini ring light. We have a DJI Action 5 Pro. It's kind of like a GoPro. I usually set this up when I'm filming with a client just kind of for BTS, and it's more long form video, but it's a great camera. And then we also have all of my things here.
I love it. I love
We
it.
also have a tripod that we use, and it gets really long. So I use this a lot when I'm filming surgery because I can make it go really long and film overhead. Or you can have it stand when you need to film content of yourself, or if I'm interviewing somebody and I need to make sure things sit still, I make sure to use that. This is probably one of my favorite tools. I got this on Amazon.
Yes, this is the social media gold right here, everyone.
It has a little piece here that you can connect, which I don't, it's in the box, but that's where your phone goes. So it can go vertical or horizontal. The light turns on. You can make it different colors, dim it, make it brighter. And so we use this a lot with food content, especially. But it's really easy to just hold and film. And lots of people ask us questions about it when we're using it. And then last but not least, this is my new special tool. We have a DJI drone. It's a little mini drone. We actually purchased a different drone, and I found out about this one while on site with a client, and it was really easy to use, but it's also a mini, so you don't have to get it registered to use it, at least out here in Tennessee. So we've been using that one a lot more with clients, and it's pretty cool.
Awesome. I would love to get a drone. Actually, one of our clients, the one that uses drone footage the most, has invested in a really nice drone. It's got a nice hard case, and yeah, they actually have to get a permit to fly it. So if you are interested in the DJI Mic Mini, these are about $100, $99 on Amazon. If you want to check that out, we'll link to it in the show notes. The DJI gimbals, there are all different types of DJI gimbals. They range from anywhere from $70 to $150, so you can find something within that range if that's in your price point. So Kayla, thank you so much for sharing all your goodies. I think I need to invest in one of those rectangular lights. That thing is, every time you post about it on social media, I'm always like, I want that.
I think we might actually purchase another one because sometimes there's two of us filming content. So
Nice. All right. So to recap what we've talked about and shared today, so reels are still a very big opportunity for your business and brand. So don't sit on reels. Just jump in and start filming content. We've given you a lot of great ways to get started today, tips and tricks. We'll share all these cool gadgets in the show notes as well, so you can go click through them and see if any of these make sense to purchase, especially, if there's any upcoming sales or whatnot. So we would love to challenge you to create your own reels and share them with us on social media. Let us know how it goes. That wraps up our 2-part episode diving into filming, editing, and producing reels that truly stand out. Remember, you don't need fancy cameras or expensive equipment. You just need intention, good lighting, and a few simple tools to help you capture your content. Kayla and I would love to see what you create. So if you post a reel after listening to this 2-part episode, tag us on social media and send it our way. Thanks so much for listening to Dose of Social. Until next time, keep creating. We're out.